Hey everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. So I promised you guys a tutorial on how to get sticker paper journaling onto your journaling cards. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do, and then I'm going to go over to the computer and show you the process there on the computer, and then come back and show you how I just adhere them here. So for this journaling card, I would take it and I would just measure to, let's call that, just to be on the safe side, I would call that 2.25. So I would write a little note, captured 2.25, and then across I would just say 2.75. Now, the other journaling cards I'm gonna go ahead and make myself. So I laid out the stamp piece that I want to use, and then I just go ahead and measure. So again, I'm gonna do the same as the captured. That way it is the same. Highs, low. My handwriting is so messy. Oh my goodness. 2.75. And then sometimes I draw arrows. That way I know if it's this way or that way. Here's what I want to remember. I could format my journaling to go up here and here, but that just makes it harder on me. So I'm just gonna start from the bottom. And again, I will do 2.75. So I'll put remember and 2.75, and then across is 6, but I'm gonna go with 5.75 across. And then do messy stamping down an inch. So I will do, the rest is 2.75 by 2.75, and then I'll put story. So those are all the different blocks that I need. So now I'm gonna go to my computer and format the different journaling blocks that I need, go ahead and type everything out, and then I can come back and show you how I will put it on this spread. Okay, so I am at my computer, and this is going to be actually a two-part video. So this is the first part. I didn't want it to be too long for you guys. And I open up my Project Life spread. I'm not going to actually really use it. I just use the 8.5 by 11 print sheet, but I want to be able to see the photos that I have selected. So I open up that print sheet, and the next step is going to be making my shape boxes. You can see I click the shape tool, and down in the bottom left corner you can see that I make the various sizes. Then I go up to my layers panel where I'm at right now typing, and I type in the size of the box that I need, and I will need a total of 4 boxes, and I'll have 2 that are the same size. So I need to make a total of 3 shapes. And the way that I type up all my notes is using my phone, and I just do the voice to text, and it makes it so much faster. Then I just kind of email myself a copy, and I'm able to copy it into the notepad, and there's all my notes for the week, and I can take the sections that I want and use those. I go ahead and draw a text box because I don't want it on the actual shape, because it does weird things to the font and it turns it into a different type of text box. So I do it off of the shape, and I go ahead and change the font to the font that I usually like, but I do need to find a different font to use for my Project Life, because I've noticed that when this particular font prints out, I think it's called Book Antique, my printer doesn't really like it and kind of smears it. So I need to find something else. But in the meantime, it'll be all right. So I am just copying, pasting the different stories that I have, but I am taking this one journaling block and duplicating it the other 3 times. That way I can use them. And then I will add some titles to each of the blocks, more so you guys can see, and that way you can see where I'm putting the different journaling pieces, because I have 4 different topics. Remember, you'll see me type those up in a second. So I'm just going back and forth and kind of figuring out where I want to put my stories based on the different notes that I have. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and type up the different blocks or different themes, I want to say, journaling prompts, but I have captured delights and things I want to remember, highs and lows, and then captured delights. The highs and lows, I'm going to wind up changing that to just say story and use that to talk about the weekend story that I had written about my kids being on the trampoline and soccer. And so I'll just use a stamp that says story. And so what I do is I use a nice big bold font and I go ahead and duplicate that 4 times, and that way I can erase whatever section I don't need. So on this one right here, I erased everything except highs and lows and then just shrunk down the text box and put the highs and lows right above my shape. And now I know that that shape is going to be the journaling section for highs and lows. And the one that I just typed is captured delights. And the big one is here's what I want to remember. And now I'm going to pick my next little story that I want to use, and I will put that into the shape. And once I have my font selected, it's much easier to just duplicate the text that I've already used, and then I can just copy and paste in the actual note that I need, because like I said, the font's already set up for me. I go ahead and zoom in and I just double check my my spelling and whether things make sense or not, since I did voice to text and it really doesn't like my daughter's name. It even says Freya sometimes, or Bread, or Brent. So I just make sure that everything makes sense. And I will say that it is really not that complicated to make all of your journaling blocks and print it on sticker paper. I just really wanted to show you step by step exactly what I do. And I also don't normally have just a list of notes. Normally I am better about getting the stories grouped together by the topic or the journaling sentiment. But this week I did not. I just had a list of notes, so I kind of had to divide up the different notes that I had into the different prompts. So like the one that I just wrote about was the story of right now, and I wanted to include a story about my son and how he dressed up for Friday at school. But my daughter did not want to dress up, so kind of made me a little sad, but I decided not to include that in the journaling. In Captured Delights, I'm going to talk about how we got back school pictures, and Big Brother decided to add an inmate sign to little sister's picture because she really did look very, very grumpy, and it was actually hysterical. And when I showed it to little sister, she was laughing hysterically, and you'll see in the process video, I captured her face like mid-laugh, and it is the best. So she wasn't offended by what bro said, so that's good. All right, so now you can see I have everything done. I took everything and I hid the shapes, I hid the titles, and I scooted everything together so I can print it up at the top, rotated the large box so it's all nice and compact in one section. I go into my printer settings and click sticker and semi-gloss, make sure I have borderless on and no extension, and then I'm able to print it. And I will show you at my desk. Hey everybody. Okay, so I am back at my desk, and this is what I wound up with for my journaling. And I have the 4 different sections, so I can go ahead. I'm going to cut one, and that way you can kind of see where it's going to land. In the computer video, you saw that I had 4 different headings for my journaling, and that's kind of how I separated out my journaling. So this one is going to go on the stories of right now. So it'll go right there, and it fits perfect. So I would just peel it off and it fits great. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here and do a second video for the process video because I just didn't want it to be too long. So come back in an hour and you will see the second part and see how the spread all comes together. If you loved this how-to, I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're new to my channel. I hope you enjoyed and have a great day. Bye.